and welcome to another episode of the Hanukkah Erotica Book Club. I'm Raizel, and I'm joined by Malya, my stepsister and co-host. Hi, Mal.
Hello.
And here at Hanukkah Erotica, we review Jewish romance books, the occasional show, talk all things Jewish romance.
Absolutely. That's us.
For our new listeners.
I'm glad that you've integrated that.
Yeah. We're still working out the kinks.
No,
but
it's good.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, but I like it.
It's good. And tonight we are here to catch up on our last episode. We're talking about a new book tonight. And generally catch up because it's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. It's our usual. That's our sketch.
What's cooking?
What is cooking? Well, I'm happy to be sort of back in the normal swing post-holidays. This is like, finally, it's like, the kids are in school. We're back to work. Like, there was daylight savings time, which was another wrench in the works. But overall, routine is settling in, which is great.
I feel like I have a different kind of perception or feeling towards daylight savings.
What do you mean?
The norm seems to be like, I hate that it's so dark so early.
Right.
It makes me feel so depressed. Like, I feel like that's really what I hear constantly. And I don't really I don't really want to disagree if it's just like a social thing and everyone's complaining about how dark it is. So we always say this one anecdote, which is like, I remember sitting in Hebrew school, like in music in Hebrew school, we were like in the shul and just staring out the window and seeing it be just like pitch black. But it was like, I don't know, not even 5 p.m. And I was like, This is torture. It's so dark. What's happening? But the truth is, I don't mind it at all.
Great.
I'm tired early, and it's validating.
Great. No, good for you. I don't mind it I don't think I mind it. I think it's nice. It's like it's winter, you're cozy, you want to be indoors anyway. You're not like out frolicking at 8 p.m. I mean,
but maybe people feel weird that they can't frolic at 5 p.m. because it's so dark, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
I hear you.
I kind of like it.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I just feel like it's like complaining about it getting colder in the winter. It's like, you could complain, but it happens every year. Like it's just that's how we are. In New York anyway. I don't know. I know there's places that don't have daylight savings time, so.
Yes, which some people are advocates for that, but
yes.
Anyway, I kind of like it. It's cozy.
I'm fine with it. It's just another wrench in the works with kids and their like routine, and then they're up early, and it's short lived. It's not a big deal, but it's just coming on the heels of the holidays. I just feel like I don't want any more. Don't need any more bumps in the road.
No, I get it. Well, Jonah Platt's been busy.
I mean, of course. First of all, did you see that he's having another baby?
Oh my God, he's having a third? No, I really missed a lot. What?
Yeah. Well, I think his wife posted it, but he shared it. But yeah.
I see.
They're having a third baby in the spring. So nice.
Wow.
Really happy for them. Yeah, great. They posted
they were at the Wicked
photo
premiere.
Was all like it was like right around Halloween, I think. So they posted it was all like pumpkins with their initials on it, and then like a new little pumpkin. That was like the announcement. That's really image. Cute. Very cute, yeah.
That's great. Well, I hope she's feeling well. They were at the Wicked premiere in LA.
I saw that they were at something glitzy.
Yeah, it was
Is he in it?
No. No. Their dad produced it. No, he's not in it, but that would be huge because this is like the biggest movie of all time.
I'm like very musical, oblivious.
It's honestly, it's like taken over my daydreams and night dreams. All I think about is Wicked.
Oh, wow.
I really can't wait.
Oh, you haven't seen it. It's still coming out. I see.
The movie didn't come out yet.
I see.
All of this hoopla, the subways, the ads, the toy. I don't know if you could, there's a lot of promotion for the movie. It's everywhere.
I'm oblivious. I've seen zero promotion. I'm unaware.
I went on a subway, the shuttle, like from like the west side to the east side on 42nd Street, and the entire inside of the interior of the train was like transformed to look like you were in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Like
Jeez.
each car was like Galinda's pink and Elphaba's green and Glinda, like it was crazy pants. And there's like in stores, there's like Wicked departments, like makeup and in multiple. There's been a lot. I will think that. Oh, I see a DM coming, a chat coming through. Hold on, let's see what he has to say. That's funny. William has an update for us. It's a crossover. He's asking if we read the news that the Wicked toy by Mattel accidentally printed the domain name wicked.com instead of wickedmovie.com, which leads people to a porn site.
Oh, oops. That's really funny, actually.
No, but there's so much. There's so much for this movie. Like, I feel like I'm really excited. I don't think this is just me because I loved Wicked the show. I think this is pretty big.
No,
Anyway, this
obviously.
was
I
to
mean,
come
if
out
there's a whole
Thanksgiving
subway
weekend.
car taking over, it's not just you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The premieres have been big. Ariana Grande is Galinda. Cynthia Erivo is Elphaba. It's going to be good.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's hilarious about the wicked.com.
That is funny.
Are we ready to talk about our book?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I don't know. Did we get any feedback about last episode? Anything we wanted to rehash?
I'm sure we did. Let me think about it. It's been a little while. Did we get any feedback about our last episode? I'm sure our
I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Now, I can't remember. I'm searching through the usual. I don't know. I'm sure people enjoyed it. I really can't remember.
Let's just jump right in. Let's jump right. No feedback on the last one.
She's moving me
so
along.
Let's hope this generates something.
Okay, so first of all, this is Jennifer Wilck's The Perfect Match, and Jennifer Wilck wrote Home for the Holidays, which is one of the best titles we've ever read. Amazing title.
Yes.
And Jennifer Wilck, I've said this before on the podcast, but like she is such a nice fan of ours because when we post every time we post our episode, she reposts that our episode is out.
Really
It's like
sweet.
how nice that she wants to tell her followers that our episode is out. It makes me very happy.
Very nice.
Anyway, so I was excited to read this book and support Jennifer, especially because also something I talk about on the podcast too much, but the karaoke scene with the singing of Gautier, someone I used to know, was in her other book. So I was excited to see what The Perfect Match was going to bring. And we have Aviva Schulman.
Yes.
Excellent name.
Classic. That's like the prototypical Jewish romance novel main character name, I feel.
Absolutely perfect.
Yes.
10 out of 10.
Agreed.
No notes on Aviva Schulman. Perfect name. And she's in Jersey City.
Yes. Is she in Jersey City or Hoboken?
Or Hoboken. They're back and forth a lot. I don't know.
They are back and forth a lot. Was Home for the Holidays also, did it take place in New Jersey, or was that one that was sort of in like any town?
It felt like any town to us, but when we talked about it on the podcast, Jennifer had messaged us that it was like a specific place that was like very clear to her. It was a suburb in New Jersey.
I see.
That I hadn't been to, but it's so weird to be in New Jersey and still like not really know New Jersey, but
well, New Jersey's got a lot of pockets.
Yeah, but it was a town in New Jersey.
Well, this one is very definitively placed in a particular area of northern New Jersey.
Yes, there's a lot of PATH train riding.
I like that. You don't often, I mean, I feel like the PATH train is not the most romantic of transportation options, but she made it work, which I appreciate.
No, yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. It's not the shuttle where you were transformed into either Glinda or Elphaba's magical train car in Oz and Shiz. It was so amazing. It was really gorgeous. I should have taken selfies in it. No, the PATH is not that. No, there are some really good ads on the PATH.
The PATH train is not going to be the center of any major advertising campaigns.
No, but there are some good ads though, by the way.
Do you take the PATH train?
There is one. Yeah, I take it every day.
Oh, wow.
There is a pretty good ad campaign for a dating app for Muslims, and I think And it's like pretty funny. It's like the J Date or J Swipe or whatever the Jewish dating apps are now.
Right.
I sound so out of touch, if whatever, but whatever. That it's like it's called Muzz or something like that, and
Muzz.
it seems like fun and cool.
Great.
It's pretty
It's
good
for
dating.
all
It's
the
pretty good
people
ad,
like
pretty,
this.
pretty good ad campaign.
Okay. I stand corrected.
Yeah, on the path. But it's like maybe they know their audience. I don't know. A lot of people riding the train from New Jersey. It's good.
It's people like this. It's like young people living in Hoboken and Jersey City. They want an app. They want to connect.
Yeah. So she has a roommate. She has roommates, and the roommate wants her to go speed dating. But like off the bat, I like can't exactly put my finger on Aviva. She works. She's a corporate job. She like works corporate or nonprofit, but she like does some event planning for an organization.
Right.
I like that. We've been there before. One of my favorites was about an event planner at UJA.
Oh my God. Yeah. Of course. And her budget
Snow-
business attire.
snowbound
Yeah.
in her-
Snowbound.
yeah.
Of course. Yes.
Snowbound in her boss's bed. Truly the best. Okay, we have that, and she has roommates, and like the Jewish identity part's not so, it's just like needed. I can't tell. I don't know. I can't tell exactly what Aviva's all about.
Right. And it's not even really clear, like, right, like what are her sort of goals or dreams or like even beyond, like putting Jewish identity even aside, like who is she? It's like,
Yes, I can't put my finger on Aviva.
right. Like it says she works for a PR company. She's taking a writing class.
Oh, PR company. Thank you.
And she's taking a writing class.
Yes.
I think like those are the things we know
Yes.
about her. And kind of at the beginning,
Yes.
she's sort of like, her roommate is like, come on, you need a man. You need to have sex. And she's like, whatever.
Yeah, why is her roommate so obsessed with her needing to have sex?
Right. That seems like it comes out very quickly. And she's just like, what do you, she's not, she doesn't get it. She's just like, nah, I'm fine.
Right. She feels fine.
Yeah.
She somehow gets roped into going to speed dating.
Right.
Did you get a sense that this was like a Jewish speed dating event? I don't know if that was explicit.
I don't think so. I don't think it was explicit, for sure not. It seemed more just like a young professional speed dating event.
By the way, I recently heard about Jewish Zoom speed dating.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell
know
you
exactly
one of
what
the
happens.
I feel like I've talked about this in this podcast once before, maybe, but like one of the funniest from ads that I ever saw in my life was like a product they had created to like combat the weariness that out of town singles feel when they have to constantly travel to other cities to go on dates. And it's like a guy with a black hat, like forlornly taking his wheelie suitcase out of like yet another cab, trudging back into his home, like another like time wasted, and he's dejected and alone. It's like, no need to do any of that. Like now you can just meet a single, like due to like from whatever it was called, like from, Virtue Date. And he like, it's basically just like you go to a chaperone's house and Zoom is set up. And you can just like have a Zoom
God.
with somebody.
But in someone's home?
In someone's home. So it's like, you're not like in your bed with a computer. There's nothing illicit. It's like
Like
you
that
get
movie where like Anna Kendrick and George Clooney were firing people from their from Zooming FaceTime, like with it in the office, like in the conference room next door.
Exactly. It's like you come in, you're fully like dressed, like you would go on a shidduch date,
Yes, I think that's what's, but I think that's like what Zoom date, FaceTime dating is. This is definitely done, but it's like a post-COVID thing.
Right, but I just thought it was funny that they were advertising this as an invention, but meanwhile it's just the internet. It's like video chat. Like it's not, they somehow were packaging it like it was something they'd created. I just that was very funny.
I love
But
that.
I like
I
Zoom-
also like love the host.
Right,
like-
the host. Yeah. I guess there's
The
a
host
host
is
in the
like-
Zoom speed dating also.
Oh yeah, there must be. I
But
don't
right,
know
the
all the
host was
details.
just to keep things kosher, like make it all, make sure everyone was behaving by the rules. But anyway,
Yeah, keeping their pants on.
obviously, yeah, you never know. Those people, the black hat comes off. Yes. Didn't seem like there was much danger of that. Everyone looked pretty stiff, but you never know, I guess.
You never know. Remember Olive Days?
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So anyway, the Okay, so anyway, there's Aviva. We can't quite put our finger on her, but she gets weaseled into going to speed dating.
Right. She doesn't want to go,
Bad
but
date after bad date. She does not
right.
want to go speed dating.
Right.
Bad date after bad date of speed dating. Also, it's like classic rom-com scene is like just like bad date, bad date, bad date. I love it.
Totally. It's very cinematic. Like, just like you could see that kind of like sort of like montage of all of these like all these people
Totally.
flashing before her who are all annoying in their own way.
Totally. And it's like also the one thing I would say that we do know about Aviva though is that like she has like a very clear idea of what she doesn't want in a relationship, and her roommate's like, "Come on, you don't really want a starving artist. You just think you do." But the thing is like she knows herself and knows that like she doesn't really want, I don't know, this like person who works around the clock or like someone who's super corporate. Like we do know that about her. That comes up in her conversation with her roommate. Anyway, so she's on speed dating. She's going, it's like, it's not going well. But then kind of a good date comes along. And instead of like continuing with the date, she's sort of like, "Do you want to get out of here?" And he thinks that's like really enticing and funny. And so they like leave the event together.
Right.
I like this meet cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was cute. They had chemistry
Cute,
right
fun.
away. I liked the sneaking out together. It was like cute and funny.
Now he's a law student.
Yes.
As a former law student, how were you
Yes.
feeling about? I was feeling like you were relating to this book in a way that I don't. Like, how was reading the law student life or like interviewing, thinking about, going into a round the clock job as a first year lawyer? Like, how was all of that for you?
Right. I was, because I was a law student, like I was ready to like pick apart all the things that were wrong and not realistic about this portrayal because, I know what it is, so I could do that. But I actually think she got it pretty right. Like, the like sort of endless studying and the note taking and the kind of like needing to kind of fit other things in between breaks, like the studying is kind of like the perpetual thing and everything else has to sort of be fit in around that. And she didn't get to like, I don't know if Jennifer Wilck did research about law school or went to law school or knows someone who went to law school, but I thought it was good. Like, she didn't make the law school too big of a factor in the book. It's not like we're sitting in on his classes or we're like getting a real taste of any of it. It's like really just
Yeah, like torts. I don't even know what that is, but
right. Exactly. Right.
It's
She's
a
not
law
like
school
throwing the
word.
word torts around. Like, he did have like
Torts.
there was a class called federal courts, which like, is that a
Yes.
class in law school? I'm not completely sure, but maybe it is. And yeah, like he has law
Sounds
school.
like it would be
Yeah, it could be.
as a reader.
No, totally. So I think overall sitting next to someone, the sort of like casual camaraderie you have with people, like I thought it was all pretty accurate. I do think like
Yeah.
the idea of this lawyer who's like constantly like basically Aviva, her whole thing, which I think is revealed pretty quickly, is that like her dad is a lawyer who worked constantly and like never had time for her mom or her. And like she has like kind of like a heartbreaking sort of like very, I feel like kind of stereotypical anecdote where like as a kid she tried to like bring home her piggy bank so she could like pay him to play with her like his clients pay him to spend time with them, and he was just like, "You can't afford me, like go ask your mom," basically.
Yeah.
And so she
Horrible.
what?
Horrible.
Yeah, really horrible. But also like the way that she sort of unquestioningly connects that to being a lawyer just seems like, no, like your dad was just an asshole. Like it doesn't have to do with being a lawyer. Like you could do that with any job, or you
Of
could be
course.
reasonable and figure out a way to make it work for your lifestyle and the things that you prioritize. Like it's weird to me, I guess, that she's so stuck in this mode of like, well, I can't marry a lawyer because that's what
Totally.
lawyers are like, as opposed to just like, I want to meet someone who has their priorities straight and doesn't like bury themselves in work,
Totally.
regardless of what they're like. You could be an artist and do that too. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
You could be
I don't know,
podcasting in the middle of the night like us.
totally. If your kid's crying, tell them to go to go to daddy, mommy's podcasting.
Mommy's podcasting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, like, we obviously need her to have like we need the conflict for the book to,
Sure.
but yes. Um, but the thing is, so she has this like idea that she doesn't want someone who works around the clock at all, obviously because of this
Right.
trauma. And I get that. I get it.
Of
But
course.
that makes sense. And then he has a weird thing that happens with him he doesn't know if he has time for a relationship at all. He's painted as a guy who doesn't want to go out. All he wants, if he has any free time, he just wants to get a little sleep. Like he's really, really tired.
Yes.
And like he knows that he doesn't have the time to put into a relationship, like period. He's very aware of that. But like he meets her the next day and also like they escape, but like don't do anything. They just like leave the event and then part ways.
Right, right. And she's just
Right?
like, right. No, yeah, totally. She just like gets in a cab and goes.
Like I want it to be like they escape and then like have like a crazy adventure in New Jersey together or like go into the city.
Right, or
Ride
do
the path.
something, like continue the date. They have obvious chemistry.
Yes. I like that like the next day he's in class and like keeps thinking that he sees her. Just
Right,
like
he
his like
thinks like his
random
friend, who's his law school classmate, is her at first, and then he realizes it's somebody else. Right, that was cute. He's
she's like
really
really
stuck on
on she's
her.
like yeah. Like really she's really, really on his mind. They haven't even exchanged numbers. They run into each other again. Love that. But to like get his mom off his back, he's like, I met someone. And she's like, wait, what? Tell me everything. But he doesn't know anything because he hasn't actually spent time with Aviva. So
Right,
to like get his, instead of, I don't know how this even happens, but he's like, she's a chef. So his mom is like, my son met a chef.
right. And he makes up like a whole personality about her. She coaches basketball. Like he like gives her a whole bio that's just not true.
Right. So fast forward to all this other stuff that happens, which is
Oh
that they
wait, but also one more thing
reconnect.
that I just want to point out that I felt
Yes,
like was a
please,
little bit of
please.
a plot hole was just that. So it's supposed to be also with him that he's working so hard and he's so driven to get a big law firm job because he wants to take care of his mother. That like his dad died, his mom was always super
Yes.
supportive in raising him, and now he wants to take care of her, which I think is supposed to be sort of like a no, Aviva, like sometimes people have different drives for their ambition, and some of them are actually like kind and about other people, not just like burying yourself in your work. Except that, like, it's just not clear in what way his mother needs caretaking. Like, his mother seems completely independent and is like living in like what sounds like a very upscale, elegant, like assisted, like senior community of some kind while he is a law student. So it's just like, it's not like his mom is like, I don't know, in the poorhouse and he's visiting her and he's like, I'm gonna get you out of your mom. Like, like I don't really get like what like. It didn't hang together. Some of these things just like didn't quite hang together for me.
Right, because right, again, yes, you're right. It's trying to paint the picture that he's actually a good guy. He's one of
Yeah,
the good guys.
of course.
Um, but yeah, his mom was fancy.
His mom was fancy and like did not need him, I don't think at all, except to get married just because she's like kind of a stereotypical like Jewish mom.
Right, she definitely is very excited about that.
Yeah.
The moms in the book are slightly annoying.
They're all annoying. Although yeah,
I really want the Jewish moms in all these books to be better.
right. You just want them to get a
Our
you
moms,
want them
our
to
Jewish
get a
moms,
life a little more, like not be
yeah,
so like overbearing. They're like breathing
right.
down their kids' necks.
Right, right. But one of the greatest, I'm really jumping ahead. I'm really jumping ahead.
It's fine.
Anyway, they get together. There's two kind of like main conflicts I feel like that are happening in their relationship. One is that after a long time, the lie is revealed.
Right.
But the thing is, like, again, this is really nitpicking because she needs a conflict for this couple. This couple is a couple that's into each other with chemistry. She needs a conflict. So the conflict is that he had lied to his mom and said that she was a chef. But the thing is, like, can't you be like, my mom was being nuts. I didn't even know your last name at that point. And I mentioned you in a moment where all I wanted to do was get her to shut the fuck up. So I was like, I met a girl named Aviva. She's a chef who coaches basketball.
Right.
Ha ha ha.
Right.
Like,
Instead,
Or
it's like a
maybe tell,
serious issue. It becomes like a serious issue.
are
Like
you a
he's
liar? Maybe you're a liar.
right. Come on.
Are you a person who lies?
Right.
If you lied to her about this, what will you lie to me about?
Right. It seems a little overblown. I
But
agree.
also, like, I do feel like classic rom-com, everything is like, you know, it's like the concept of like Becky's podcast, Too Stupid to Live. It's like you're both just not talking. Just talk. If you just talk, if you tell them what we know, everything will be okay.
Totally.
Just tell them what
Totally.
we know.
Right.
But
And
they weren't.
I think that also because another thing in their relationship is they're trying to hold off on sex, right?
Oh, right. Why?
It's not entirely clear. I think, she's just kind of like, I want it to mean something, like that type of thing. I'm saying that like who could understand that? But I get it. She wants to hold off and like, get to know him better. I don't know.
They're very into each other, though.
They're very into each other. They are very
Waiting seems hard for them.
waiting's hard. There's a lot of like, like pulling back reluctantly and like, torturous, like whatever, like a lot of that, a lot of teasing.
Yes, but it wasn't getting me hot.
No, you weren't into it.
It wasn't like, I don't know. It was, I did feel their chemistry. I don't know. I think it needed to be hotter.
Maybe it's because she kept on pulling, like she kept on stopping it.
No, I don't know. That could be hot.
Right.
But I don't know. Did you think it was particularly sexy?
There was something, I guess it was because I didn't really have such a clear picture of either of them, maybe. Even physically, I didn't really
Right.
have them so clearly in my head. So I didn't feel like I had a clear enough image for it to really do anything for me. I think
Right.
maybe that was it.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
They were like a little bit, I didn't have a clear sense of them. I mean, I did think it did a good job sort of like building their connection. It wasn't one of those books where it
That's
was just
true.
like, hello, I love you. Like it wasn't that. It was
No.
a good build of just like they had a good rapport and like that, they liked that was great. But yeah, there was something. And then I felt like that scene where they were bowling, they were being very flirtatious while bowling. Do you remember there was one scene with that? That just seemed a
Yes.
little over the top to me. Like I couldn't
They
really
were like even like texting each other pictures of their bowling balls.
Yeah, there was a lot of build up to the bowling date. But then during the bowling, it was like they kept like brushing up against each other while bowling. Like, I don't know.
That's hot.
I guess something about the logistics didn't really hang together for me. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. But then I think after they get
If you don't mind, I'll read a passage about this.
please, 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 please.
All around them, the crack of the ball against the pins, the sweep of the pin setter as it pushed the fallen pins out of the pit, the cacophonous shouts of other players swirled. But all Aviva heard was the teasing tone of his voice, its deep rumble vibrating in her chest and making her toes curl. He grabbed the bowling ball with his long fingers, bent over, and let the ball loose down the lane. I'm gonna keep going. I'm obsessed with this. Hold on. His arm muscles. It's better. It gets so good. The next line is so good. Hold on. You won't even believe it. His arm muscles rippled. His butt clenched. He resisted the urge to fan herself. Bowling was an excellent first date. That's the paragraph I just found. That was good.
I think
Oh
it's
my God,
maybe
the
also
mic's
just that
falling.
I really don't like bowling. I see like I've never had a remotely romantic like bowling to me is just kind of dirty and boring.
Yeah. Yeah, bowling's like more fun in my head than it is in practice. I have to remind myself of that the next time I think I want to go bowling. It's always more fun in my head. There's a lot of waiting.
I feel like it was a common activity for kids when I was a kid. I've never taken my kids
Yeah.
bowling, but I feel like it was a common activity, and I just never. Again, it was always like, "Don't you want to go bowling?" And I'd always be like, like you're putting on someone else's shoes, and then you're the ball. It's just a lot
The
of
ball,
waiting.
yeah.
You're right. Like
A lot of waiting.
I don't. So I guess
Mitch is a very good bowler, though. So, like, I do relate to some of this.
There you go. His butt clenched.
His butt clenched. His muscles rippled. His butt clenched. Aviva resisted the urge to fan herself. Bowling was an excellent first date. So good. Oh, it's so funny.
Listen, anytime someone's really good at something, it's a turn on. Like, it's just nice to see, like, when somebody's good, it's good. This doesn't seem
it's
like
good.
they're good. It just seems like they're, like, overwhelmed by the sight of each other bowling.
Yeah. So nice for them.
It's great. It's going great.
It's really, really cute. So yeah, so
Oh, but I think
there's
after,
yes,
but I
no, you
think
go first.
after
Yeah.
they finally get past the whole lying thing is when they do finally have sex.
Yes, but then the other big, big, big conflict arises, which is like, is he going to have a big round the clock law firm, big job at a big law firm where he's working, 25 hours a day?
Right.
And he decides yes.
Right. He like can't, I mean,
And
he seems very like he was offered, he had got an offer from a firm after he worked there in the summer and like he can't. Also, he has like the perfect, also something materializes out of thin air that's like very like out of a rom-com, which is like out of nowhere he gets a call from like another law firm that like all they do is environmental law, which is the kind of law he wants to practice. They're right in Hoboken. They're very family friendly. The guy just like reaches out to him out of nowhere and like is very aggressively trying to recruit him and is like, you'll be doing the exact kind of law you want, and like we support our lawyers having like full family lives. So it's like, it's not like she's like, quit this like high profile job you've been offered for nothing. It's like quit for basically like the perfect dream thing that I couldn't have conjured a better version if I tried.
Yeah. She's like, actually, I'm a sorceress. This is a Jewish witch romance, and I have
Totally. It's like I made a
Yeah.
golem of a law firm. Like it's
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I did really like this book did have a very warm place in my heart because like William and I also did start dating when I was a law student, and
Yes.
it gave me a lot of really sweet flashbacks to him like fitting himself into my studying days. Like there was one
Yes.
time where like she took a break from her work. She also had like a demanding job with long hours and like a hard ass
Yeah.
boss. And she took her like dinner break and she wanted to go and get him dinner. But then like all the lines were too long and whatever. So she just kind of showed up and she was like, I don't have dinner, but I wanted to see you. And he's like happy to see her. And there was like a really cute time where I was studying and William like biked to a kosher place in another part of Brooklyn and like got me a lunch and then biked to Brooklyn Law School and like showed up at the library with a lunch for me. And it was like so cute.
So cute. He
that,
loved you.
yeah. So that
So
was like
cute.
just a sweetie. That was sweet.
Yeah. And that stuff's like, I feel like written from the heart and from a place of truth. I don't know. I don't know the story here, but like it does that is what happens.
Totally.
Like it's because the thing is like it's completely impossible to date someone who's that busy unless you do those crazy things.
Right.
Otherwise it can't happen.
And it's like
they did that.
What's Roz Alexander?
Mm-hmm.
They said something in their email to us about how they always try to make the emotions in the book real, not necessarily the plot. Like it's not necessarily the actions that have to be so realistic, it's the emotions. And I felt like that was really true of this book. Like you could pick into like whole, things that you felt like weren't realistic, but at the end, like the feeling of that connection building was very real.
Oh, absolutely. We have not spoken about what I cannot believe we have discovered in this book.
What?
Which is that you were brisket shamed.
Oh my God, you're right.
There is a part of this book where she gets to go to Shabbat dinner. She goes to Shabbat dinner at his house.
Yes.
His mom makes brisket.
Yes.
It is melt in your mouth brisket.
Yes.
Delicious. First cut is the deepest brisket.
Right.
And she is really nice and friendly and like asks for the recipe. But then his mom is like, or someone is like, well, you can't mess up brisket.
Oh
When
my
she
God.
goes to make the brisket, she goes to make the brisket and oh yeah, this is in the first part when she has the brisket. Everything tastes wonderful, Karen. Yeah, Ma, the brisket is terrific. Thank you both. Brisket has always been Jacob's favorite. I'd love the recipe if you don't mind sharing it. Okay, then Jacob's nervous because he's afraid his mom's going to say something. But then she says, of course you can have the recipe. I'd be happy to give you the recipe, honey. Remind me before you leave tonight. I love women who aren't afraid to eat and cook. Okay, he's all worried because he thinks that everything that Aviva asks, he gets a little bit anxious that she's like asked the wrong question or his mom's going to have the wrong answer. But it all
Right.
keeps working out. It's like a really good meeting. But I'm only focused on this brisket because I'm like,
Totally.
what tips is she going to give? Is she going to say something? It has to be a first cut. Is Molly going to learn anything about brisket from this book? But then I was laughing because you were like truly brisket shamed because then I literally bookmarked. It's like, she's like, Aviva laughed. I do like to eat. Cooking well, I'm not terrific at. I don't have a tremendous amount of time, but I've always heard brisket isn't too complicated. Not that I mean any offense. Not at all. Brisket's pretty easy. It's a great meal to practice on. It's almost impossible to mess up.
Oh my God. It's humiliating.
Good. You understand. I wouldn't want to offend you. Anyway, yours tastes good. So good. Hopefully, I'll be able to maybe come close to this. Anyway, I was just cracking up that in this book it
Oh
says
my God.
impossible to mess up. Untrue.
It's really not true. I can't be alone here. Like, I can't be the freak, that kid that messes up the unmess upable thing. Like, there must be others out there.
I've never made a brisket as good as Bobby's. Brisket's easy to mess up. It could be tough. But
Like,
I
it could
had
be,
a different
yeah.
thought. I feel like I wanted to bring up with you a few weeks
Okay.
ago, and I think I haven't. If I have, I really am sorry that I've brought this up. But I actually do think that it was the fresh direct meat. I don't think it was you.
Really?
Yes, I decided I don't think it was you.
The fresh direct meat? It seems like always very high quality meat.
But melt in your mouth like butter.
I mean, it wasn't the way I prepared it. Certainly
I think
not.
that was. I think that wasn't you.
Okay,
Anyway,
well, I
I was
did learn
laughing.
something very important this past Shabbat, which is that now from where I live in Park Slope, you can Instacart from Gourmet Glot, Pomegranate,
Oh,
and even
well, game changer.
Bingo. Have you heard of Bingo?
No.
It's like
Have I
kosher,
heard of bingo? Have I heard of bingo? Kosher Costco.
kosher
Have you?
Costco.
Of course, I've heard of bingo. We have bingo items every single week. Have you ever had the not babka? What is it? What is it? What is it? Not kokosh cake, the size of my dining room table from bingo.
I have not, but I
It's
believe
like a
that it exists.
centerpiece. It's like a
Wow.
tablescape. A kokosh cake the size of a kitchen counter.
Wow. Wait, you get
You
that, or
can
you're saying your
No,
in-laws
it's just
get
that
it?
Tanta Selena comes from Brooklyn to New Jersey for Shabbat every week.
I see.
So there are items from bingo
I see.
just
I see. Got it.
coming in
Got
all
it.
the time.
Well, anyway, all this is available to me via Instacart. I just discovered from someone I was
Oh,
talking to at shul. So that's like a
wow.
Fresh Direct is no longer my only game in town for
Absolutely
delivery.
not. Now it's time to have it. Now you're going to have to change if you didn't have an Instacart membership, now's the time.
Oh,
You
for
need to
sure.
change up your monthly membership with Instacart because you have to go with free delivery, whatever it is, the good windows. That's insane.
I know I have to look into
Pomegranate
it. It's
bingo gourmet glot. Wow.
I know. I know. Can't believe it. It's a whole new world. I'll report back. I have to explore. But anyway, so I mean, if it was the fresh direct meat, I definitely have other options. I think that that's a generous interpretation by you, Rachel, to be honest, but
That's
I'll
fine,
go with
but
it.
the fact that there's a whole brisket shaming part of this book
It's
saying
very
that you can't
funny.
mess it up,
It's a myth.
I lost it.
I call myth on that whole idea.
It's possible. I think yeah, you're right. You can mess it up. We know because you have.
There you go. More than
And
twice.
so have I. So have I. I don't even attempt really. Um, but yeah,
It's
whatever
very
we had
funny.
said about the brisket kind of like rippled through the airwaves because I think you know, maybe you don't know. My sister-in-law was like, I heard you have a good brisket recipe. How do I make the brisket? I was like, you need to get a first cut. I can't have this conversation.
Oh, she had already bought a second cut?
She received a brisket. I don't know about the brisket.
I
She's like, I
see, I
have a
see.
brisket or a roast. I have a something, and
I see.
our mother-in-law said that you. She's like, I heard you have a brisket recipe. What? I was like, I can't get it. I can't. It's also, you have to watch my mom make it. You have to be in the kitchen all day.
Yeah, of
Like a
course, of course.
like a Persian grandma. You got to watch her
Yeah.
making the rice, straining the rice, letting the rice soak. You got to watch
Absolutely.
Bobby smush those prunes.
Smush, the timing. You need to take notes. You need to totally.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, so they break up. I actually like missed the breakup. I didn't, was it quick? Was it like they happened? They broke up.
Yeah. It was
Then it
quick.
was like it was quick. It just happened. It was very quick. And then it's like 2 months later, they're still broken up. I don't, it's like, they really loved you. They was like, it was pretty serious. Also, she got into an accident.
Yes. She
Another
got in.
accident. We've seen this before.
Have we?
Recently. Recently. Didn't we see an
When?
accident recently? Was there an ice skating, roller skating? Was there an accident in a book recently?
That sounds
Someone
familiar.
fell while doing a sport or something.
I'm sure.
And she was like, I'm going to marry him.
Oh yeah. Girl meets guy.
Yeah. Girl meets boy.
Yeah,
It just
that's when she
happened.
gets back together with her high school or college
Yeah.
boyfriend.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Good point.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, she gets into like a car accident and she has like a serious accident. Like her arm is broken, she has a concussion. And she
Right.
doesn't want to call the boyfriend for like days because she doesn't want to bother him.
Right.
Meanwhile, I feel like I would be that seems like a way bigger deal to me than that weird thing with the lie with his mom, but yet like that seems like it's not a big deal at all.
Meaning, like, the issue would be like, you got into an accident and didn't think to call me. You didn't think I should be with you in the emergency room.
Yeah, like I'm your boyfriend. We're like in an exclusive relationship. Like you had a serious medical event. You didn't contact me for days to let me know. Like, what? How is that? What message am I to take from that? But that like I'm not really a part of your life.
Right. Not that you're the most respectful person ever and you're trying to let me get my finals done or whatever. It's too weird.
I think it's over the
It's too
top.
weird.
Like
It is.
it feels like it's like that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry, like no one, like Larry's dad doesn't tell him like his mom died because he doesn't want to bother him. Like
Yeah.
it's like comedic. It's ridiculous.
Yes. So she doesn't tell him, but then she does.
Right. He's very
And
supportive.
then he just takes care of her. He's like not mad at her. He's like,
Yeah. He's just supportive and great. He comes right there. He's like, don't worry about my finals. You're my priority. Which again, meanwhile, like, why would she then so abruptly break up with him? Because she's like, no, it's your firm job or me, and you've chosen your firm job. But like, he's right. Like, he showed her a million times. He's like, you're my priority. Like, I don't get it. It seems so rigid, like such a rigid thing to be so focused on, especially after you've
right.
gotten to know someone and realize that they're not like that. So I don't know.
It is interesting though, because like I recently met someone and she was like, do you know anyone who's single? And I suggested someone who ended up not being single, but she was like, no, because like someone with his schedule, it doesn't work with my schedule because they're always working when I'm free. And I don't want to even start dating because like he works like weekend days and weekday nights. And I'm like, I have a regular 9 to 5 and I'm free then. So I don't want to go out. And like, I guess, but it's also like, I don't know. I guess that's true when you're like first dating and like if you have no time to date, but you make time. Like when you were in law school, you were busy all the time, and then you were like keeping Shabbat on the weekends.
Right.
There wasn't a ton of time.
No, of course not. But it's like, first of all, you don't need a ton of time. You just need meaningful time to get to know somebody. And if like, I don't know, it's obvious. Like if it works and you want to prioritize it, then you'll prioritize it.
Right.
That sounds like, is that person very young? That sounds like a very sort of inexperienced attitude.
Older than you think. But yes. But younger than us.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I just feel like that's the kind of thing where like, I don't know, I think when we were younger, there was a lot of sort of things that we thought like sort of on paper kind of things that we thought
this
were
is
very,
that's what's happening here.
yeah, where you thought
But
those things
remember,
were
it's
very
a new
important.
adult book. But the thing is, it's a new adult book, and that's kind of part of it. It's like
Right.
one step out of YA, right? Like she's like out of college, but barely. And so she has these like sort of silly deal breakers.
Right. I guess I'm expecting her to be more maybe adult and mature than she really ought to be for her
Right.
age. Right.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I think it being a young adult book is like why some of these silly deal breakers could be forgiven, because that's, I don't know. I had some, well, I can't, craziest silly deal breakers in those years.
Right.
But the reason that this part doesn't make sense is like they're already in the relationship. She already sees that he's there for her. She already sees that he's prioritized her and made time. So it's
Right.
totally whack-a-doodle do. Anyway, they break up. Fast forward. Guess what? Happily ever after.
Right. Right. He comes to her. He quit the big law firm. He's signing with the family-friendly law firm. The family-friendly law firm even has like a contract for families that he's supposed to show her about how like families are prioritized. I mean, this is just like total like rom-com bullshit, but it's cute.
It's a dream. She's living the dream.
Exactly. She really is.
Jewish-wise, there's not a ton here. Like, they're Jewish.
Right. There's the Shabbat dinner and the brisket.
Yes. Yeah, there's a Shabbat dinner and the brisket. Honestly, thank God for that. I needed that brisket.
Yeah, that was fun.
That brisket was, and the bowling. Oh my God! But that brisket cracked me up.
She
I
has a
was
high
worried.
necklace. She wears a high necklace that he thinks is sexy. He mentions it
Yeah.
through the book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which, of course, we've talked about.
Of course, we immediately go to
the up and coming, new artist selling, Jewish jewelry since October 7th, advertised on the thirst trap.
Of course. Sufficiently
Mr.
masculine. Some are sufficiently masculine. There are more feminine options.
It's nice. Listen, I'm glad they found each other. I was very worried when I first read you the book because the trilogy was like Perfect Match, Perfect Secret, and then something like The Perfect Revenge. I can't remember what the third one was. And I was like, does it become true crime? Like, what is happening with this trilogy?
Right.
But I read ahead. Oh, yeah, you're right, by the way, on the cover of Perfect Match, like the high necklace is there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it is sexy. Anyway, I was concerned, but it's not the Perfect Secret, the sequel.
Yeah.
It's not about them. It's not about them. Like, I was nervous it was like about them and now there's a secret.
Oh, I see. It's just like another meet cute about another unrelated couple.
I'm sure they're connected-ish, like the roommate or something.
Sure.
But it's so like I'm sure if we were to read it, we'll get a little update probably about our characters here in
That's
A
cute.
Perfect Match. I like to
Right.
get the updates when you
Yeah,
read
yeah,
about
yeah.
I like reading the next book and getting the update, They're like planning a wedding or whatever, there's a baby, I don't know, whatever it is, I like it.
Totally.
But anyway, Perfect Secret's about a totally different couple, and I've read the first couple pages. There's a JCC and it looks kind of cute. And then we have a little acknowledgments from Jennifer Wilck, where she says at the end, I can't believe I actually have to say this, but this book was written by me, not some AI bot or whatever. A reader's time is too precious to waste. Who accused you of an AI bot, Jennifer? I'm horrified.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
No. I
She
would
shouldn't
never
even be addressing that kind of thing. That's just ridiculous.
Don't say that. Who would ever think that? No. This is a nuanced book about two Jewish characters, their annoying Jewish moms, their roommates, their colleagues. No. The brisket, come on. No.
I really hope she just put that in because she, I don't know, felt like, I hope that that's not a response to any direct
That's how I feel.
accusation because that's really ridiculous.
I feel the same way. I hope that too. The Perfect Deception is the third book. The reason I thought Perfect Revenge is because Vinny's really into the Descendants series, and in Descendants 4, there's a song called Perfect Revenge. We do a duet of it all the time. Anyway, the third book of this is called Perfect Deception. So it made me really nervous. Are these romances? Perfect Secret, Perfect Deception? I don't know, but I'll tell you, I'll probably read them soon.
Yeah.
She's read a lot of books: Donuts, Dreidels, Deadlines, Donuts, and Dreidels.
Cute.
If anyone wants to read a Hanukkah romance that looks sexy by Jennifer. There's we read Home for the Holidays. There's Matzo Ball Blues. There's the rest of this series. She's written a lot of books.
Wow.
It's really cool. I wish I had it in me. Anyway, check it out. Perfect Match by Jennifer Wilck. Also, the other thing I'm interested in is that when I read the book description last time, it said that this was a revised of another book.
Oh, right.
Like a
right,
rewrite.
I forgot about that. Right.
I'd be very interested to see like what that, I would like to read, but I'm curious. I've never read a rewrite of a book, and I'm curious what that's like.
Totally.
Like she released a book and then like rewrote it and re-released it as a perfect match.
Wonder what the story is behind that. Like, why not just write a new book?
Yeah, me too.
Right.
I'm very curious.
Cool.
Very, very. Anyway, okay. Thanks, Jennifer.
Yes, this was fun.
For the book, for being a fan, for bringing Malya back to her early days in her relationship with William.
Yes. Really sweet.
Great. All right. Next book. Now, we've read a Rachel Lynn Solomon book before, Weather Girl.
That was a really good one.
It was a really good book. And I read a book by her called The X Talk. And I thought that you might like it. It's about a podcast. So I think it's really fun for us.
Amazing. That's cute.
I love that. And I read it a really long time ago, and I've mentioned it a few times, and I'm very excited to read it for our next book. So can I read you the description?
Of course.
Okay. Shay Goldstein has been a producer at her Seattle public radio station for nearly a decade, and she can't imagine working anywhere else. But lately, it's been a constant clash between her and her newest colleague, Dominic Young, who's fresh off a journalism master's program and convinced he knows everything about public radio. When the struggling station needs a new concept, Shay proposes a show that her boss greenlights with excitement. On the X Talk, two X's will deliver relationship advice live on air. Their boss decides Shay and Dominic are the perfect co-hosts, given how much they already despise each other. Neither loves the idea of lying to their listeners, but it's this or unemployment. Their audience gets invested fast, and it's not long before the X Talk becomes a must-listen in Seattle and climbs the podcast charts. As the show gets bigger, so does their deception, especially when Shay and Dominic start to fall for each other. In an industry that values truth, getting caught could mean the end of more than just their careers. Shay's Jewish.
Great. I think the other book we read by her took place in Seattle also.
Yeah, she's from there.
Cool.
But she moved to Amsterdam within the past couple of years, and I'm wondering if that'll change what she writes.
Yeah.
She's like an expat in Amsterdam now.
Sounds romantic.
Super romantic. So that's that book, The X Talk. We're reading it next. And
Great.
Also, we have a live event coming up at the Rip Bodice in Brooklyn.
Yes. December 12th.
December 12th. Molly and I will be live at the Rip Bodice. If tickets are not available on their website now, they will be very soon.
We're going to talk about a book. We're going to play some games, have some audience conversation, other surprises. Meet us. It's going to be very fun.
Meet William.
Of course.
I can't wait. Our live last year was so much fun.
I loved it. It was just pure fun. I couldn't stop smiling thinking about it.
Me too. I can't wait for the next. It'll be great. It'll be a pre-Hanukkah party.
Right. It's like a welcoming the holiday season.
I can't wait. Really can't wait. So get your tickets for that. If you're reading with us, we're reading the X Talk for our next episode. This podcast is produced by William Levin. You can follow us on Instagram. We're available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Please rate us, leave us a review, share this with your friends. Very helpful if you just share the podcast with people that you think might enjoy listening. And if you are looking to buy a Hanukkah gift for a beer pong lover, Newest Traditions is the sponsor of this podcast. You can buy Hanukkah pong at newishtraditions.com and enter promo code Hanukkah Erotica, HANUKKAHEROTICA, to receive 20% off on your game. Perfect game, perfect gift.
Amazing.
Okay, can't wait to talk about our next book.
Thank you.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.